Hello, everybody. Hey, it's Ken Faulkner. We're still moving through the collection. It's a long, long road. It's been a long road to get here as far as the collecting part, and just going through them, definitely long, but enjoyable. Memory lane. Make sure I don't forget about any of these beauties. They. This is the premium case. It's part two, so this is kind of the middle of the road. Price wise, I don't have them sorted by price this time. It's by size because they got some monster big ones and some little tiny ones over here. Used to be when I would spend a lot of money on a knife, I really didn't feel like I was getting my money's worth if I got a little tiny knife. It's just not enough material, you know. I've kind of like, changed over time, and have a these birds adopted enjoyment of some of the smaller ones. Let's get into it. We will start with the $298 price range, basically $300, right? And that's going to be this Megaron. Who would have thought, huh? Megaron in the premium case. They do have some nice ones though. And this is a big old thick guy. Thick, thick, thick. Probably, maybe the heaviest. Yeah, I think it's the heaviest one out here. It's not super long. I was putting these out by size, kind of lengthwise, and it kind of sat right in the middle. But that blade stock is thick. I think it's pretty much, it's at least 3/8 of an inch. At least 3/8. And the even though the scales are milled out, they're still pretty thick as well. This one's called the Nagain. Yeah, they put out a few of these really big ones. The Arma and the Geddon, which is funny. Yeah, these are kind of fun. Just a way overbuilt, very cool feel in the hand. Drops like a rock because it's heavy like a rock in the blade. Well done. I mean, Megaron does really good work. You can get down to the budget stuff all the way up to this $300 range. I think maybe the Arma and the Geddon might be a little bit more. Hard to get though. Hard to get. I don't think they make a lot of them. I snatched this one up pretty quick because I knew how fast those other ones disappeared, and I just wanted to see what they can do at this massiveness. Look at the stop pin on that thing. It is just quite large. So yeah, I'm not disappointed for sure. So fun knife. Got some cool milling going on with it. Functioning wise, definitely functions. Weight wise, it could be heavier if it wasn't milled out. But it's plenty heavy, So if you like like me, I do like a knife that's got substantial feel to it. Some of the lighter ones just don't feel. They feel a little bit more toyish. I know that they can work well, but they just do. They just kind of feel a little bit more flimsy, even if they literally are not. It's just a perception thing. Whereas this thing really feels like you can do some work, and it's got this wild sort of look, which more and more I'm realizing that's a kind of direction I go. More of a wild kind of look. You'll see that in some of the blades here for sure. And it's kind of why, in a lot of ways, I'm not getting as many budget knives as I used to, because a lot of them tend to be just straight knives that are for use and all that kind of thing. And nothing wrong with it. And I think it's great. And if I get a really good deal, I'm still picking them up. But I'm kind of want a little flash, a little flare. Just the way it's gone. Who knows? We could change over time, but that's the way it's gone. So that is the Nagain. Next one on the list is not here. I have it on the list because I already bought it. I've been talking about it, and it's on its way. And I just looked at the tracking. It was supposed to come on Tuesday, and now it says it's out for delivery. Really nice surprise. I'd really rather that it go that direction than saying, "Oh, it was 3 miles away, but now it's in another state." You know, that's when it really drives me crazy. I need to get a drink of water. Hang on, guys. Ah, there we go. Okay, ready to go. So that one's gonna be, I guess, if it comes today, you'll see it tomorrow. This is Saturday for me, and I don't know when you're watching this, but it's 3-day weekend, Memorial Day. I hope you guys are getting a 3-day weekend, or like Bees was saying, he's getting a 4-day weekend, which is great. A lot of people take some extra days off, go traveling, so be safe in whatever you're doing this weekend. I'm staying home. I got Blade Show West coming up. That's my next big trip, and I'm just trying to save money. So it costs to travel. So anyway, let's get on with the knives. Enough of that talk. Now we're getting to a small one. Look at that guy. Now this is a Pena, and I've heard so many things about Pena knives over the years, and look at the milling on this. I got this on the secondary, and definitely M390 steel. The milling is one of the things. What was it? It was Urban EDC. Used to always have the Sagaha pattern. I don't know if it's solely them, but they did it on a lot of their knives. I really like it. I think it's cool. I mean, I'm very much into the Japanese culture and all that kind of stuff. From my early days of training Shotokan karate and kendo and stuff like that, and I just had a love affair with all things samurai and ninja, and kind of led into the knife thing for sure. Anyway, this is a basic thing. It has a really great. I mean, it does pop because it does have that handle design in the milling. But otherwise, the blade is just a basic design, but so well done. So well done. And for such a small knife, it is rather robust up here. It's got good jimping. This does give you some texture as well as beauty. Nice little milled clip. Works well. Tiny little guy. I can put this in the 5th pocket. Front flipper. Front flipper is snappy. Maybe not as snappy as some, but it's still very snappy. I didn't realize, I saw the Pena table at Blade Show. I didn't realize that they did a lot of slip joints, and that's really what they started with when I was talking with the main guy. I don't know, Pena, I guess is his last name. I don't remember his first name. This one says it's the X series. The name of it is the X series Caballero. So Caballero, cowboy, right? I'm not super fluent in Espanol. Took it in high school, like probably a lot of people did, and I can say Donde es el baño, and then the important ones like tequila and cerveza. But this is not fluent. Even in California, where it would really be helpful to be able to speak fluent Spanish, and a lot of people at work. They'll be speaking Spanish, and every once in a while I'll hear my name thrown in there, and I can't tell what the heck they're saying. It's just a running joke. We joke with each other about that kind of thing. But anyway, nice knife. I wanted to see what Opinion was all about, and I'm not disappointed. It is very small for me, but I can still enjoy a small knife. Next one is going to be the EMP EDC Nimble W, another one on the secondary market. I guess when I go through these collections, I realize that I buy a lot of knives used. I like to get a deal. So usually I don't. I mean, I have gone to Blade Bidge a couple times, but mostly it's people I know fairly well, and it's usually in the community. Know well enough in the community. This one came from Stella. I met her at Blade Show West. Really nice person. It was funny because that was back when she wasn't showing her face. I guess she really doesn't show her face a lot on videos. But so I noticed the tattoos on her hands, and I knew that was her. But super nice. And And then this one was from Tim School of Fish, and I met him in Atlanta. So, there are some connections there. I get a lot of stuff from Nick from Behind the Edge, who unfortunately I've never met, but definitely lots of back and forth with him over the years. So I feel like I know him pretty well, and stuff like that. So anyway, a few scratches on here, but I've talked about that. It doesn't really bother me. Nimble W, again, this is like the only one from, I've always just, every time I see these knives, I've always got, I want to have one so bad, and I just never did pull the trigger on them. And then Tim was selling one, and it didn't sell right away, and I said, you know what, it's time, I have to do it. So I love this frag pattern. I love the fact that it's all these different ways of deployment. Little small back flipper. It's got the whole. You can probably even do it with a thumb on this one. Yep, look at that. Even I can do it with a thumb on this one. It's just well designed and very cool Wharncliffe with a nice little pointy tip there. I dig that. And yeah, great knife, titanium. And the blade steel is probably M390, yeah. M390 is pretty popular in this price range. I remember back when I first started, collecting that, the M390 was like the premium, and then now we got so many other things. Next is going to be a Chavez, the Redemption Street. Where is the Chavez? Oh, right there. There's the skull. There it is. So you got the titanium lock side, and then the G10 on the what do you call it, the show side, and M390 steel. A lot of China in this group. There's like 4 USA and 6 or more than that. The rest are from China, but a lot of them are like Riyadh made, just high end stuff like that. So yeah, M390 right there. Awesome hollow grinds. Smaller knife. I bought this one back when the regular size or the fuller size Chavez's were just too much money for me to spend, and I was stressing over the fact that I was spending, how much is this one? $300, basically $299. Spending $299 on a knife, and then you add tax and shipping, and over $300. And it was definitely earlier in my collecting, and that was quite a hard thing to do. But it's a Chavez. I want a Chavez so bad. And yeah, great. This thing came in, and the detent was like crazy. I never felt a knife with as strong a detent, and it still is to this day, kind of strong, but definitely probably partially me getting used to it, and partly that sound, partially it breaking in. It really does well. That jimping is also crazy. I mean, it does the job for sure. Not for the faint of heart though. Not really a choke up spot up here, but you can't get 4 on the handle. You got to, if you're gonna choke up, you better get right up on here, because that's gonna get you. But sharpening for days for sure. I've been really enjoying sharpening lately. Ever since I got that new one from Worksharp, the Professional. Oh man, it's like, when I first got the Precision, it was like night and day on my sharpening, and then getting this one is just like the next level, and I am just enjoying the heck out of it. We'll talk more about that probably during this next month when I'm not buying knives. Got to find other things to talk about, so we'll talk more about sharpening and just community stuff, knife collecting stuff. I'll probably pull out some knives here and there to talk about, or maybe groups of knives or whatever. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. What's next? We got the Chavez Microtech. Now, I showed the MSI on the mid-range case, which is such a great value for Microtech. And of course, we're talking USA, so the prices generally are more expensive. So the first one here is the amphibian right here, the biggest one on the table lengthwise. Like I said, I picked it up against the Nagain, and I think it's lighter than that, but there it is. This thing is huge. It is quite the knife. If you like big knives and you cannot lie, yeah, you want to get this one. If you can afford it, of course. It's this one is busting up at the $300 mark for sure. 308. We got G10 scales at 308, but it's M390 MK. So more letters means it's better, right? This one's been poked a couple times. Billy over at Apex Alchemy, he was he went on a HRC binge, got a machine, and he was doing it for anybody that would send their knife in. He would do it for free. I got this one from Nick. This is another used one, and he sent it there. And I remember that the HRC on it, I don't remember what the number was, but it was surprising because a lot of people say bad things about Microtech. It was somewhere around 61 HRC. And officially read 2 sides, got poked twice. So just to verify, I think it was 61, which is pretty darn good, really. For this one is the M390 MK. So I don't know. I mean, I really haven't heard a lot of people raving about the MK being so much better than just the M390. It's cool. Finish on the blade, very nice. The thumb studs, which are like this triangular shape, you get it pretty easily. Also, it has that ram lock. I talked about that with the MSI. I do enjoy that. I really like the fact that you can grab a hold of this, what they have here, which is more like what you'd have on some of their autos, you know, where you push it and pull it. Obviously, this one's a pull only, but they still have that kind of ramp up and ramp back down. But yeah, it's really easy to grab a hold of. The G10 on it, yes, G10, but the texture on it is amazing. You know, I might be able to get some aftermarkets on it. I don't know. I just haven't really been that excited to do that. The MSI, obviously, I did. If you saw that video, the MSI's got some aftermarket scales, and it looks awesome. So there you go. That's the Amphibian, a beast of a knife. Recurving. It's got that recurve in there. If you don't like that, or you don't like sharpening a recurve, but for me, it's a little bit more craziness, so it appeals to me, right? Clearly, that's a thing for me. Next one is the Zero Tolerance 0562 Thai. Now, this is more of a basic. Of course, I got this pretty early in my buying. It does have, very much has that Hinder look, and there's a reason for that, because he did do the design of it, even though it's a ZT knife. This is the second ZT in my collection. First one I bought, I've had this one for a long time. I remember I was looking for what I can, you know, take to Blade Show West the first year, and it was the only time I could go without flying on an airplane. So I said, well, I'm going to do something fancy. And back in those days, this was fancy for me. You know, all Thai, looks like a Hinderer. Feels like a Hinderer. I mean, it does. It's well made. Flipper only is the issue, especially since it looks like it's got thumb studs, but just the way it's made, they're just too short, and there's not enough room behind them to get in there and flick it with that. I don't know why. I know they're being used for the stops. That's really their purpose in life. But if they would have made them a little bit more thumb steady and maybe had added a little, probably wouldn't have had to for the thumb. Just had to be a little bit taller, a little more grabby. Reverse flick, yeah, probably you would have had to have a little bit more room, and then it could be a problem with the lock bar. So it's got that whole Hinderer thing with the lock bar stabilizer thing, all the hardware. Very much that design, the big old flipper tab, but I like it. It's got a great acoustic, especially on the flick out. We can get past that, and on the way down. It's the full tie version. You get they have them with the tie and the G10, but yeah, I picked this one up. Very cool. This one's running at about $312. So it's a little cheaper than your regular Hinderer, but you know, it's up there with your regular ZTs. I think they're mostly up that range. Next, we got a Microtech Stitch. Oh yeah, speaking of crazy. Crazy. I know this is too crazy for some people. A lot of branding on there. It's got that black and satin look. So it's very two-tone. Yeah. This one's not trying to be subtle. Definitely not trying to be subtle. The whole Borka design thing is like that, though. And it's very... This is a very comfortable grip. You got plenty of room back here for this kind of grip, for hammer grip, whatever grip you want to do. Ram lock again, G10 again. This one, I think, just because of, you know, it's just well known and desired by people that like crazy. This one is at $317. Yeah, so it's got similar. This one's kind of going a little bit more all over the place. This is more just the same. This one's aluminum and this one's G10. So this one is not. Let me double check that. Make sure I'm not lying. Yes, this one is aluminum. They look very much the same. I mean, looking at it, they look very much the same. But this one is aluminum, and there's a slight different feel to it. Almost a little more slidey than the G10. The G10 is a little more grippy, but they're both grippy, so there's no real big problem with that. So that forward finger choil has plenty of room. You are not going to have an issue with it getting caught up in that corner. They have different versions of this. That geared back spacer is awesome. Yeah, similar. This one's got that little cutout in the middle. Anyway, yeah, I really like this knife. I really like the shape of it. I know a lot of people, it's polarizing. So, you know, if you don't like it, I totally get it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I might even be saying that I'm wrong because, you know, it looks like something out of a fantasy movie. And so the child in me is saying, I have to have this knife. And I'm okay. I accept that. I accept that child inside myself. Sometimes it's good to have that childish side inside of you, I think. You may not agree, but that's okay. We don't have to agree. We just agree to disagree. Very important. Riot. I love the name of this knife. I've shown it many times before. It's kind of, look at all those. They're not actually holes, just divots, but it's got crazy design. Look at this knife. Look at that blade. That's nice. Riot. This is actually from the Riot brand. Smaller knife overall. You can see with the spot. Like I said, I went from big to small. It's towards the smaller side. It's called the Baby Machine. And I think that's funny as heck. I've seen this symbol quite a few. Tadashi, I don't know. I can't remember the name of the guy. Me and names. But yeah, you see that design, the designer logo quite a bit on Riot knives, and you see also on WE knives. I like this one a lot. I love the blade shape on it. Tall, flat. It slices very well. It's obviously used. Bought it used. Feels really good in the hand. I like this two-finger kind of like, it's almost like a 50-50 for the first one, and then a big old finger groove for the back. It feels great, and I've always said that I like this kind of swoopy kind of thing, but it also includes that thumb place, you know, almost like a harpoon kind of feel here. So it gives you just a lot to hold on to. Locked in. I love being locked in on a knife. Okay. Next, we have the WE. This is my only WE in my collection. I'm not exactly sure why, because they are really nice knives, but it's just, I think price range and the looks of their knives. I did buy this one used, so it was a little bit lower cost. Really awesome micro milling on the like I say, they're so well made. Really awesome micro milling on the titanium. This is a 20 CV CPM 20 CV blade. Oh, by the way, that Riot, the blade steel on that is RWL34, the baby machine. I guess that's what they make baby machines out of, is RWL34. Not that familiar on that steel, but I know it's something I'm not used to seeing, and I like to check the steel boxes. I figure if it's more exotic, there must be something about it, or it's just some of the company making a blade steel that's exactly like something else, but they name it differently because, you know, they don't have the rights to the brand name. I have no idea. You know, it's easy to look it up, but then I forget. And I'm sure I've looked it up. As far as I know, it's a good steel, but yeah, I just forget. There's certain things just don't stick. You know, I have to remember a lot of things for work because it's engineering and there's a lot of stuff related to that. So I feel like I have a capacity for a certain amount of information, and then things that don't really, you know, help me buy knives, like a paycheck, kind of fall to the wayside. But that's just my theory. This is the WE Trogon, and yeah, like I said, it's a 20 CV blade, nice fuller on it, and thumb studs. So see, we can hit the fuller, or you can hit the thumb studs. And I've grown to actually like that, having those options, especially for the thumb, because, you know, me and the thumb with you got to watch that that lock bar. Obviously, the thumb I'm much better with the studs. It's just that lock bar, so I have to get up on the clip or something. It's a knack thing. I don't carry this one enough to really get that used to it, unfortunately. But anyway, WE Trogon. Had to have a WE in the collection, right? Next one is American Blade Works. Right here. Okay, this is I have 3 from American Blade Works. One's that slip joint, and then 2 of the Model 1 V6s. But this one is the titanium with the button lock. Very cool. So a big difference because the other one has the micarta. I've already shown that in the collection videos. This one has MagnaCut, but it also has the milling steps coming down on the bevel. So since it's being run on a CNC machine, it's being cut with a little tool, and it leaves those steps, and then you can polish those out if you want, but it does kind of look cool, and it doesn't seem to have a real impact on like drag in the cut. It doesn't seem to. Also great milling on the handles. Just great work from American Blade Works. Don't remember the man's name, but I met him several times at shows, and he is awesome. And he clearly loves what he does. He's just excited about it. He tends to, like, the first time I saw him at a blade show, he sold out like the first day and just went home. I don't know if he knew what to expect, but he's sold out. More recently, a little bit slower. Maybe he's bringing more to the shows because he knows now how popular his stuff is. So American Blade Works. So it's the Model 1 button lock. Next one, Vero Engineering. This one is quite cool. I got this one also on the secondary, and it had been modded. So this is a Satu Dave hollow grind. Back when he was doing the hollow grinds, he was really enjoying learning about what he was doing with that, and he always did a good job. I think he was more critical on himself than anybody else was. But this one is really excellent. Nice big knife from Vero. Great milling on the handle. It's got the Timascus clip. I need to take it off, and it's got this rattle to it that I noticed. Just hear it. So I need to take it off and either It doesn't look like it's loose up here. I think I just need to bend it back a little bit so it'll be up against. I mean, it looks like it's got plenty of ramp. I don't have any problem going in and out of the pocket. So I think it has plenty of ramp. I just would like there not to be a space there so that you don't get that rattle. Fortunately, it doesn't really drive me completely crazy, but a little crazy, It's got a nice flat part here, which is easy to get up on. Nice little 2-finger groove there. I like it, locking me in. Big knife, no problem with real estate on the handle. You gotta watch the lock bar as usual. I love a frame lock, but you do have to watch it. And that's why I like a subframe lock or a bolster lock even more. But this one is very nice. I mean, Vero makes great blades, and with the hollow grind, it's even more special. Definitely not going to go anywhere. It'll stay here in the collection, and very nice. You know, I could take or leave the Mokutai or the whatever that is. I guess it's a Mokutai. But you know, it looks fine. It looks fine. It's just a little more blingy than I normally would go for, but every once in a while, and it's not too much. It's not like the whole knife is made of that material. That would probably be a no-go for me. But having it just on the clip, even though it's kind of a large clip, yeah, not a problem. So that is the Vero Impulse. The Vero Impulse. M390 on the steel on that one. Tanto blade. More of a Japanese. It's not quite straight up here. It's got a little secondary tip too. Anyway, last but not least, although it is a small one, I got this one in Texas. Texas Blade Show, first year going there this year. This year. Very nice. This is the Knife Standards design. I really love this knife. The action for such a small knife, it works so well in my hand. It doesn't feel like a toy. It doesn't feel like it's gonna fall out of my hand. It just feels super comfortable everywhere I hold it. I can get 4 fingers on it. You know, it's just enough. The hollow on it is amazing. It doesn't have that pointy tip that I normally like, but it's just the grind lines, I think, is what really sells it for me. It is Vanix, super clean. And it does have this cool carbon fiber. I don't know what the name of it is, but it is very nice looking. And titanium bolster lock. There you go. Gotta love it. Thumb studs are working really well. Oops, damn it. Sorry. Anyway, it's got the thumb studs and it has the fuller, which is super nice as well. What else? Vanix, it checks a box. Yeah, I really like this one. Really like this. It does have a wire clip. Some people would say at, what's the price on this guy? $345 that it shouldn't have a wire clip, but I think it's okay. I don't have a problem with it. Very nice. It's very smooth, well built, fit and finish, awesome. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Yep, 33 minutes, about where I've been hanging out. This is my collection length video. Yeah, we got some cool small ones that you know, break the mold for me, and some crazy big ones that are right in line with my normal go-to. All of them are, you know, more expensive for sure. At this price range, I need something. I need something more than just a regular knife. It needs to have something. And I think all of these do check that box. I mean, some of them I did get on the secondary, so yeah, I did get them cheaper than the price I have on the spreadsheet, which is kind of the what you're going to see from like Blade HQ or something like that. Yeah, so tell me what you think. I know people have been enjoying it. Got a lot of variety here, right? It's not the same old, same old. It's not like 5 of the same knife, but with different colors. This is what I like to do. This is what I like. I like variety. I like to try different things. I want to know what a pinion knife is like. You know, I want to get a big old monster Miguron, no matter how much it costs me. I want all that stuff, and so I buy it when I can afford it. So, thanks for watching. Certainly enough talking, and I'll see you on the next one. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.